Have you ever been in a situation where you've heard native English speakers speaking and thought to yourself, what are they even saying? And then thought, this sounds totally different to what you've been listening to when practicing or learning English. Well, in today's video, what we're going to do is go over some top tips for helping you to understand fast spoken English in a much easier way. My name's Carl, I'm an English language coach. I help non-native English speakers upgrade their English, not just for their professional lives, but also their personal lives as well. Now, the first tip on the list for helping you understand fast spoken English a lot easier is listening to podcasts. Now, this can be on the topic totally of your choice. You can do this whilst you're driving, whilst you're going for a jog, whilst you're in the gym. Totally up to you in terms of how you incorporate this into your daily and weekly routine. This needs to be listening to a podcast of native speakers who are speaking at a natural speed. This will help you to really train your ears to begin to break down the words within a sentence when it's spoken quite quickly at a natural pace. Now, this is something that I also do myself. As mentioned previously, I'm also on a journey myself of improving and leveling up my German language since moving to Germany. What I do find with listening to podcasts, especially when driving, when you're using most of your attention visually, I often listen to podcasts in German to help train my ears more and more so that sentences maybe a month or two ago that would have sounded like a total blur of sound, now I can pick out each individual word in the sentence. This is simply by training my ear to understand the faster pace speaking. So I would highly recommend listening to a podcast, incorporate that into your week, and see if that helps improve your listening skills. Another thing you can do to help you understand fast spoken English is when you are watching YouTube videos in English, what you can do is adjust the speed. Now, this is something which could be quite useful and not something that you use as a permanent fix, but something that you use to gradually get yourself up to a level where you're onto the normal speed. And after a month or so, begin to gradually increase the speed up to the normal spoken level. Now, I think you'll find that really useful, as what that will do is it will allow you to hear the individual words in a sentence a lot easier than before. So maybe give that a try. Listen to a video at total normal speed, then slow it down and see how much more you're able to understand just with an adjustment on the speed. Now, we've spoken about practicing on how to understand faster English. Now, if we're talking on a more practical sense, in terms of real life, day-to-day conversations, then a great thing that you can do is think about the questions that you ask somebody. This can provide a good guide as to what answers they can give to your question. So one thing that I typically recommend to clients is ask very specific questions. When you ask more specific questions, your ears are more attentive to the possible answers that could be given to that sentence. Now, every question doesn't need to be a closed question where it's going to be yes or no as the answer, but asking good questions with the what, the why, the where, the how. These types of questions will put you in a situation where you are guiding the types of answers that could be given. And I'm not saying that will totally solve the issue of understanding them speaking quickly, but what that can do is guide the conversation and put you in a position where you need to specifically listen out for the key words in their sentences. So an ideal way to do this is listen out for the key words within the sentence, get a good understanding as to what they are saying, and then once you have a good idea of that, then you can start to work on understanding the filler words, understanding the phrases that they may have used in between. And ultimately, to piece this all together, it all comes down to practice, practice, practice. Listening to a range of different speakers, because this will allow you to train your ears to different accents, to different pronunciation, to different speeds, all in one. This will also allow you to unlock new levels in your speaking confidence, as you'll be more confident to speak if you know that when you get a response, you're actually going to understand most of what the person is saying to you. So there we have it. These are some top tips for you to try out. Listening to a podcast of your choice, incorporating that into your weekly routine, adjusting the speed on a YouTube video and gradually bringing that up to normal speed over time. Focusing on what questions you ask in conversation in a more practical setting so that you are able to listen out more attentively for keywords and also have an even better guide on where the conversation goes. And finally, practice. Putting the practice in where you listen to a range of accents, a range of different pronunciations so that you can essentially train your ears to understand more and more native spoken English. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with someone if you found value from today's video. And as always, start upgrading your English today. Take care and keep moving forward.